Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 4 of Space Haven. So picking up where we left off, we are looking to be able to build more of the prerequisite industry in order to make our own tech blocks and other advanced blocks. For that, we need to continue seeking out derelicts, trade opportunities, to essentially fuel a higher tech ship. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. Right now, of course, we've got a little trade going on, a little salvage going on. And here's yet another trade. Let's see. They also have tech blocks. Wonderful. And this is why I was building up a nice, healthy amount of credits for sale, so that if and when the opportunity arose, I could dump a whole lot of my my credits and coin towards trade in order to acquire tech blocks in order to fuel a lot of construction. So, just as a little reminder, we've got the recycler, which deals in scrap. This pretty much gives us the tech precursors of tech blocks. So, for instance, if you take a look, tech scraps to infra blocks and electronic components, but that doesn't actually give us tech blocks. Then if you take a look at the assembler, the infra blocks are also made of electronic components and steel plates. The infra blocks do turn into tech blocks, but only after we manufacture them. So if you go to, let's see, resource, the assembler, and then the advanced assembler. This might be on the higher tab. Yep, there it is. So this advanced assembler, let's go ahead and rotate. Hold V so you can see exactly where you put it. This advanced assembler is going to be integral into making tech blocks. It's the tech block manufacturing facility. Now, it will have other prereqs, and we'll see those in just a second. And what I might actually do is run yet another trade. I don't really mind parting with a lot of the raw resources that I have been mining up in order to jumpstart my whole, tech block need, I guess. So yeah, I'm paying out the nose for these tech blocks. But at the end of this, what I'm going to be able to do is to manufacture them myself, and then I won't be reliant upon trade really ever again, which is just incredibly helpful. One other thing is Philip, the new sleeper that we acquired, that we rescued. He has been given a name after one of my patrons. So here he is as Letherington. All right, so let me slow this down. It seems that we don't have power to it, but that doesn't really matter. So tech blocks are made from optronic components and infra blocks, and energy blocks from energy cells and infra blocks. So if we take a look at what we need for the optronic components, if I go to the resource here, this is going to be made from the optronics fabricator, and that requires the electronic components, which is made from the electronics fabricator. So both of these are going to be needed. Let me go to the space here. Oh, and we just cracked a fire. Let's see if we can't fight that. Oh, accidental aggro. Of course, it's accidental aggro. What a perfect name for the person that sets a fire. So we're going to get the both of these new stations constructed. And then let's go ahead with a... How many from edge is this? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 from edge for power. Now, once we have the capacity to manufacture all of these blocks in-house, what I'm going to do is try to stockpile materials that we're going to need in order to sort of rework the ship so that it is more comfortable. so let's go link this up. There it is. It wouldn't also hurt to have a little bit of light. Not placed exactly where the other one is, just because there isn't wall space. Taking a look at the salvage here, we're still pretty far away from actually having all these salvaged items from this, so we're going to wait. But actually, it looks to me like pirates are incoming. Now, as long as the one-eyed... Let's check this one-eyed wolf. This one-eyed wolf is not going to be able to help fight pirates. So, what I might end up doing is jumping out and jumping back in. Something akin to that. Because we don't yet have... we don't yet have any sort of means of defense. So all of these new constructors that I just manufactured, I am going to set up a if less than supply. I'll set up another light. So at this point, I think it would be diligent of me to prep a hyperspace jump. This is going to recall the workers that are on this ship. It is, of course, leaving a whole bunch of the resources we have on it, but really don't want to get fired on needlessly by these pirates that are incoming. So this should recall them. All right. Nope. Let me just force it. In this instance, I will draft them because I really want to be out of here. Actually, let's just go straight away with the dock to the pod. It did pause a second. Now, the pirates might initially fire upon this... Yeah, they're firing on One-Eyed Wolf, not me. I do hope that the trade went through. Okay, dropping off the resources, and then redocking. Okay, and what I'm going to do, because right now, as you can see, it's break time, is hit the readiness level to red, which means I don't care what you're scheduled to do. Do this now. Oh, and One-Eyed Wolf just left. Solbian is charging it up, and we're out of here. Okay, I'm going to go north, or up, or whatever you want to call it. Did look like there was some additional salvage up this way. Deploying the ship. Now, the ship did take a few hits. I do hope... Okay, so a bunch of trade ships are incoming. I do hope to be able to add some... Oh, this is an old pirate ship that got destroyed, dismantled, whatever you want to call it. But we'll deal with that later. So what I have to do is then reduce the system readiness level to allow for our navigator to then actually sleep. And our stability went down, but the hull stabilizer will bring it back around over time. So now let's trace the industry here, just to make it clear. So tech blocks require infra blocks and optronic components. Optronic components require chemicals and electronic components. Electronic components require base metals and noble metals, and the chemicals require raw chemicals. Then if we trace infra blocks are either created from tech scrap or infra scrap. Additionally, they can be created from the assembler, from electronic components and steel plates. Steel plates are created from carbon and base metals. So essentially, we have the ability to manufacture tech blocks from start to finish, from the very start, which would be, you know, the very start would be something akin to raw chemicals, raw base metals, and noble metals. And that's going to allow us to make pretty much everything we need. Now, I did get a few questions in comments about some of these other specialized blocks that exist in game. They currently don't have purpose. So the Quantronics or the super blocks, stuff like that, they aren't useful yet. There's a lot of features that are starting to show up in the game, but that don't do anything, I guess is the best, easiest way to put it. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear out this this here scrap ship and scrap it for parts. And then hopefully being able to retool a bit of our own ship so that it's more efficient and able to defend itself. That's ideally where I want to be. I don't want to be a victim from pirates continually. I'd love to be able to defend myself, which means putting in shields and guns, possibly boarding enemy ships. Oops. I always do that. When there's items, I go and shoot it rather than loot it. There we go. Just a few credits. This will have another log, it looks like. Okay, so we've grabbed it all. Damien, I'm going to have you drafted. Head over to the log, and then everybody else will then be able to salvage. A lot of stuff on this ship. Whole lot of items. Alright, so there's the new data log. Oh, and this is a different log path than the last one. This puddle jumper might be trying to take salvage. Yeah, they also are trying to take salvage. So it's kind of like a... Oh, actually, you know what they're doing? They're transferring resources. So we're salvaging. But what I'm going to do right now is quit salvaging and just focus on transferring resources. Because we have no claim, necessarily, to especially a pirate ship resources. So it is sort of a battle of who does it first. So it'd be best if all the people that I had salvaging focus on just transferring resources instead, because looks like the this SGS, please don't explode, is trying to grab all the resources they can. So I'm going to start editing the hull, adding a little bit. And then additionally, we have some other fabricators that we haven't made yet. So we don't have an item fabricator, which is obviously for, as you can see, weapons. And having higher quality weapons would be very, very helpful. Then what else don't we have? I don't think I have an energy refinery either. As you can see, there's just really not a whole lot of space we can put this that doesn't then cut off the rest of the base. There would be the possibility of moving things around a little bit just to... Okay, so the Please Don't Explode has left. Just to make a little bit more efficient use of space. But I did mention that I would want, ideally, to redesign the ship so that our some of our most uncomfortable parts of the ship are sort of walled away. And that's still something I would want to do. So what I'm doing up here is setting up the ship so that we have the ability to put in some different consoles. So right now we have the operations and navigation console, but we don't have shields or weapon console, which I would want to put up front. They don't need to be, but it's nice to have sort of the helm of the ship set up that way. So another thing I'm going to need to do is to design the ship so that the power generator doesn't bother everyone. So if I check comfort here, a lot of the buildings here are very, very uncomfortable. The as you can see, a lot of these manufacturing buildings are just, they suck. But yeah, the chemical refinery that I've got is making the beds a little uncomfortable. The recycler's making the grow room a little uncomfortable. The larger you get, the more that you can spread this out, and the more you can isolate the things that people don't want to live near or around. So for me to be able to wall up my power generator would be, a bit of an undertaking, but it'd be a nice to have. Another thing I'm going to want to do is for my, let's see. Don't think I need a spacesuit door. So for my ship to add another hyperdrive. So I don't know how many, I haven't counted how many hull blocks I'm going to be able to set up. But I'm going to attempt to add a pretty significant expansion to my ship, giving it like industry wings. So is that... Yep, let's make sure. Yep, it is indeed symmetrical. Now, as you can see, I don't really have this ship centered on this build square. If you're intending to have a behemoth of a ship, that's a really nice thing to do. Alright, so as far as transfers go, we've almost transferred everything out. And the other ship that was competing with us for transfers isn't here anymore. Let me double check to make sure that... Okay, I don't see any pirate ships on the horizon, so that's good. So we'll continue this large redesign project. So what I'm planning on doing is trying to... Oh, it looks... Yeah, trying to isolate our industries. And what I'm... Initially, what will end up happening is I'll probably end up doubling up a lot of stuff. As you can see, our hyper fuel is... we could trade for it, but it's going to run out unless I start refining for that as well. And they're going to be telling me that my hull blocks are critically low. I am able to make hull blocks. Hull blocks aren't that expensive. I can make it out of steel plates, and I can make my own steel plates, and it looks like I have a decent amount of carbon and base metals. Here's the one-eyed wolf. This is the ship that had to flee from the pirate before. And there's really nothing I want from it, resource-wise. So I'm just going to speed up time and continue to build. I'm sort of curious if they're going to aim to... So far, I can't tell. I don't think they're aiming to salvage or anything like that. It's no competition necessarily. Yep, hull blocks critically low. So between processing hull scrap and making base steel plates out of base metals and carbon, and then making the hull blocks from those metals, we should be able to get this little hull redesign project going. So the idea here is to move this power generator over here and isolate it behind walls, and then put another one over here, 2 of them, put both behind walls, have maybe the weapons at the fronts of these wings, and then have industry along it so that the industry is pulled away from the center of the ship, and the center of the ship can act more as a thoroughfare and less of a manufacturing hub. And putting more of the logistics and sleepers in this area, which are less damaging to comfort, and putting the more damaging to comfort, which will be further away from beds and whatnot. Taking a look. Again, I don't see any pirate ships incoming. Looks like another derelict in the next hop. And then, of course, we had to leave a lot of resources behind from last hop because the pirates came in and I really didn't have the ability to do anything about that. Okay, just making sure that everybody's getting home safe and sound. These lights obviously need to move. They don't really make sense where they are anymore. Because they're causing like wall pieces to be sitting there. Alright, so as far as power goes, I'm going to go with the largest generators. Now, my first generator was a 3-sized, but I am planning on a lot of expansions. I'm basically planning on this ship to be very large and well fortified, so I might as well build for, build for a big one. And then what I'm going to do is wall this up. So that it isn't ugly and discomforting. And yeah, my guys are absolutely going to be overwhelmed. I mean, they're basically redesigning a ship. That's entirely understandable. Alright. Now, with the whole system being redesigned like this, this power generator here can probably be dismantled. And what I might need to do is run just a power node roughly where it was to reconnect. Oh, that was weird. To reconnect both sides. What do you got? You got... Nah, I don't really need the trade here. Alright, so this needs to link up now. There we go. And if you take a look at comfort, let's go to the comfort overlay. As you can see, it's still uncomfortable. Obviously, that shuttle hangar is the largest culprit, but the majority of the discomfort here is nicely tucked away where that power generator is. Now, with all of the new functional space that we've added, the other issue is, of course, the ship here is going to become very cold. So, life support, thermal regulation is definitely going to be needed. And it seems to me that these are just outside of our power grid's range. So let me set that up. So this is something. I hope that approximately is where it is. But it's break time right now. Cannot remove spacesuit. I think it's probably just too cold. Yeah, everybody is very upset by this. So one thing you could do is, you could modify the schedule here so that instead of sleep, they work. Because right now what I need to do is just get those space heaters constructed. And as long as the ship is too cold, they're simply not going to rest or sleep or anything like that. So I just modified the schedule here so that they work on that. This might be too far away for a link, so I'll actually put it right next to the heater here. I'm going to have to move it. That was not well planned. And because I didn't plan for the expansion to be really cold, so you can see some people are just sort of quite upset and passing out. I.e. protest. No, here's the please don't explode. Alright, so now those extra heaters are now plugged in. It's going to read as I need to make more, but I know that isn't true. It just needs to have a second to kick in. So the morale of my crew is going to be a little low today. They had a very uncomfortable, very unfortunate day. Other systems that I want to add in. So energy turret. We want to put energy turrets in our ship. They're very costly, as you can see, but this is going to allow us to defend ourselves, which is, I would say, critically important. And then what I want to do is start to... Why can't you sleep? Let's check the temperature. The temperature is fine. I mean, it's not super comfortable, but it's fine. Yeah, they can sleep. Wow, this is... we do have pirates incoming. So how much of this... Most of it we've salvaged. So if we had to jump, we could do it without much issue. Now, I have enough... let's see. Are any of these other ships here? This one, yeah, has double guns. We're currently being fired upon, but the pirates are as well, and faster than we are, so they had to leave because the light link here sort of defended us. But soon I'll have the ability to, fight back. Alright, so if they've left, let's go ahead and unready the hyperdrives. Now, what I need to do, it's not enough to just have an energy turret. I'm going to need the weapons console to accompany it. And then I'm also going to want a shields console too. On top of all this, I also want to be able to manufacture the energy refinery. For now, I'm just going to plop this sort of anywhere. But eventually I'm going to have to decide carefully where it's going to go. Link these powers up. And then another thing I wanted to do, of course, is to start moving my manufacturing out to these wings, if that's what we want to call them. So I also don't want to create any, like, islands, so to speak. So I got to make sure that my placements are wise. One thing I should do, probably, given the size of everything, is to just decrease the space between this, like that. A little bit more hull, so I can fit sort of a better pathway. I will admit, it's not the prettiest. It's not the prettiest ship I've ever built. Cancel this. I'm trying to make it a little bit more attractive because I feel like. Well, let me just build it the way it is for now. I briefly had a hull breach. Oh, I guess I did trim the corner hulls off on the other side. That's fine. All right, so now we have the energy refinery, which is going to allow us to make... Let's make up to 10 rods and then hyperfuel. We'll have up to 10 of those. I do need to mine out some additional Hyperium so that we can, you know, effectively jump a little bit more. Other things I need. Let's see. The power nodes here. Is there a way to move this? Just move this up to... I think that will get proper coverage. Move these power grids over. Trying to set it up that we can efficiently use this space. Where did that one go? Here it is. Links. All right. So now the consoles are plugged in. They're not well illuminated, but if I go to furniture, I can, for now, stick some lights in there. And then once we get this moved around, we'll have that set up nicely. And then on the other side, I do hope to have... I wonder if anyone has the skills. Let's see how many gunners we've got. We've got one gunner and another one that has some skill, but is better at shielding. Got it. Okay, so we have the ability to have our weapons online, as you can see here. And if you take a look at the hull here, as you can see here is the energy turret up top. Now I want to start moving some of the core manufacturing out to these wings. And I think what I'll do is stick another energy turret on the other side. And let's go ahead and illuminate that area. Maybe not the most useful view. Like that. this salvage operation. There's a lot more infra scrap there, I guess. We'll just keep working on it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm moving the gas scrubber and the oxygen a little bit. This chemical refinery should move as well. These lights are going to be, this light specifically will be a problem. So if we take a look at comfort here, as you can see, the chemical refiner being so close is a little uncomfortable. Move those sets of lights. Now it's saying my hyperview fuel is critically low. We also don't have, ooh, here we go. Because I don't have shields up yet, I'm going to go for a retreat for this one, because we're just going to get fired upon a lot. But I do plan on being able to take out pirates soon. Come on, guys. Let's get moving. All right, let's jump. I'm going to jump back to the original... that was close, actually. Closer than I'd like to admit. I'm going to jump back to the original salvage operation to see if there's anything back there that we left behind. Ooh, it looks pretty stripped. And we can reduce the readiness level. Go ahead and put my shield generator there. Now, at this point, let's move some of these industries around. Make good use of the space. Basically just nudging things into position. The pirate might be coming here next, though. It'd be good to have the shields up. Yep, incoming ship, pirate. And a whole lot of other ships. I don't think that pirate's going to stick around very long. It's going to be fairly outnumbered, I think. Okay, that actually won't be able to go there. Because that's where the other power generator is going to go. So I wanted 2 power generators for redundancy, so that I don't have brownouts or anything like that. I figure, why not just go ahead and set it up? It's way more power than I currently need. But this way I can plan the base around it. And here's the Firebird. Oh, odd that they picked the weird corner to fire in, but yeah, they were outnumbered and they had to leave. But that would be a nice goal for this ship next, to be able to bring combat to pirates ourselves. So now, as you can see, the bedroom here is a little bit more comfortable. And then the next goal here is to move everything that makes this area uncomfortable and wall that up separately. So the hull stabilizer here is not an uncomfortable thing to be around, nor is, I believe, let me double check, the oxygen generator is a little uncomfortable, I guess. So, ho-hum, hold on. But ideally what I want is like a wall that goes like this, moving this power node a little bit, somewhere here, I guess, and then having doors here. And this keeps the thoroughfare here more comfortable than it currently is. So these generators, let's cancel their movement and put them over here. Actually, right on the other side, well, let's see. Maybe on the other side of the bedroom isn't as bad as I think it will be. And what's important about here is what we'll end up getting is when people are moving around the ship to the farm, to the helm, to the bedrooms, to the toilet, they don't get affected by all this discomfort that's in the back of the ship. This stuff back here will be isolated. And then this is sort of the hull core of our ship. And yeah, I'm probably going to have to, you know, continually fine-tune what we've got here. So right now it says energy blocks is what I am lacking. Maybe it's possible to trade for some of those. Let's see. You guys don't have any. Don't worry about that. Okay, and this needs to relink up. And I'm going to need to plug this in quickly. There we go. Lights on. Oh, this... Oh, no. This is totally fine. So now it, as you can see, there's a circle. Yeah, there's some linchpins here that I might want to jump. There we go. Perfect. So now there's like a lot of redundancy in the power grid. It's telling me the infra blocks are needed. For real? Alright, so because I moved everything, I'm going to need to set up the manufacturing processes again. The benches don't remember, so to speak, from being moved around. Actually, let me nudge that over a little bit as well. All right, so chemicals up to 5. Electronic components. I don't want to crowd my doors. So the refinery is fully set up. The steel plate refinery is fully set up. The assemblers. So here we go. Soft blocks up to 5. Hull blocks up to 5. Infra blocks up to 5. just spreading things out. We should be able to make those infra blocks pretty soon, and I think there's still considerable infra scrap here. If I recall, well, we're almost done with all the infra scrap. But we could jump back to the original salvage that we had going on. A lot of fine-tuning here, but I'm almost at a point where I feel comfortable in this ship. If we take a look at comfort, actually, as you can see, I'm pulling the comfort away. Once these doors are manufactured, I'm pulling the comfort away from the front of the ship and stacking it in the back. The next thing is the shuttle hangar. Ideally, we would want to extend the back of the ship back further and put the shuttle hangar further away from the core. But that's not something I might end up doing. It depends if I truly find it necessary or not. I might not. And almost out of time, but let's go make sure that we have some lights in key spots. Moving the last of our facilities. Looks like we have a... Yeah, I managed to put that light in the only spot I might have a lack thereof. Alright, so let's dismantle that light, both these lights, and put it around the wall light. A well-lit ship keeps people happy. Oh, we do have pirates incoming. We haven't actually made the shields yet. So now, as you can see, the doors here are constructed, and the comfort here is neutral. Meaning that when we're not manufacturing stuff, and when we're in the front section of the ship, we're not making people needlessly uncomfortable. So I'm going to go ahead with the last jump back to the original salvage, or not the original salvage, but the salvage we had to abandon. I'm sure it's being stripped up pretty quick by all these other civilian ships. But that is about all the time I have, guys. So I'm going to pick it up next time. Next time, I think we will finish sort of the restructuring of our ship and then being able to focus on weapons and shields and item manufacturing for better guns to be able to take down some pirates. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below or questions of any type. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the wonderful feedback you've been giving me. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.